What game are we playing?
We're playing Othello.
What's that? It's time to find out.
William Shakespeare was baptized on April 26, 1564, into the Holy Trinity Church of Stratford-upon-Avon. His actual birthday is unknown, however, it is assumed that it was 3 days prior to the baptism, as was customary of the times.
He most likely spent much of his childhood studying at the King Edward IV Grammar School, which was located near Stratford. While William was 18 years old, he married a girl named Anne Hathaway, who was about 7 years older than him.
They would go on to have 2 daughters together, Susanna and Judith. They also had a son, Hamnet. However, he died during childhood. Shortly after Judith's birth, there was a 7-year time frame with no known information on the doings of Shakespeare.
It wasn't until the year 1592 that true evidence of Shakespeare's becoming an actor and a playwright became prevalent and known.
Later on, he lived in both London and Stratford. Then, in 1599, Shakespeare helped lead the construction of a world-famous theater.
This theater was called the Globe Theatre and was located on the Thames River within London. Many of Shakespeare's plays were performed within this theater, which made it a world-known sight today.
Shakespeare wrote many of his histories and comedies during his early writing years, mainly during the 1590s. These plays included Richard II and A Midsummer Night's Dream.
His later years of writing, mainly after the year 1600, are when he wrote many of his famous tragedies, including our play Othello and the play we're reading currently, Hamlet. The final plays he wrote were also tragedies, however they included more comedic relief and were far less dark than his true tragedies.
Around 1612, William Shakespeare retired from his writing and acting career and permanently moved back to Stratford.
William Shakespeare eventually died on April 23, 1616, on the day that many believe is his actual birthday as well. His cause of death was unknown and still is unknown today. He was buried and currently is buried in the Stratford-upon-Avon church in his hometown.
Shakespeare revealed Othello in 1604 with its first performance in the Globe Theatre. It was based on the play Un Capitano Moro, written by Cinthio in 1565. The first role of Othello was handed to Richard Burbage, a well-known Renaissance actor.
The play itself was first written down in the year 1622, about 18 years after its debut in the theater. Today, Othello has been told through both movies and television programs alike.
The scene that we will be performing is a part of Act 5, Scene 2, where Othello talks with his wife Desdemona.
But before we perform our scene, here are some major characters that you need to know within the plot of Othello.
Othello is the main protagonist in the tragedy. He is a prestigious general of the Venice army. He's not actually from Venice, however, but rather North Africa.
Another important character within Othello is named Desdemona. Desdemona is married to Othello and plays a crucial role within this play throughout the plot.
Iago is also a main character. He is in the Venetian army and serves as an assistant to Othello. Iago is the villain within the play through his deceptiveness and shady character.
Cassio is another important character. He is the second in command within the Venetian army just under Othello. He is incredibly devoted to Othello.
Amelia is the wife of Iago while working as a servant for Desdemona.
Another important character, Rodrigo, is a suitor who wants to be with Desdemona. He is very jealous and does anything that he can to get Desdemona.
The final important character is Lodovico. He serves as the messenger between Cyprus and Venice. Now that we have seen some major characters, we can jump into the plot.
The play begins with Othello in Venice, arguing with both Rodrigo and Iago. Othello had just married Desdemona, who also, by the way, is Rodrigo's super crush, while also passing over Iago on a promotion within the army.
This led towards Iago developing a deep and personal hatred towards Othello. There is a plot led by Desdemona's father claiming that Othello used magic to make her fall for him.
However, Othello goes on to prove his true love for Desdemona, and the happy couple travels together to Cyprus. In Cyprus, Iago, accompanied by his buddy Rodrigo, begin to formulate his master plan to ruin Othello's life, as any true supervillain would do.
Iago's plot is to provoke jealousy within Othello by making it seem like Cassio and Desdemona are playing a little Scrabble in their free time. One of the ways he does this is by stealing one of Desdemona's handkerchiefs and putting it in Cassio's room.
This leads to Othello becoming majorly overcome with jealousy. He accuses his wife Desdemona of being too promiscuous and tells her to wait for him in their bedroom.
Meanwhile, Rodrigo attempts to kill Cassio but merely injures him. Upon quote-unquote discovering this scene, Iago eventually kills Rodrigo.
It is at this point that our scene occurs.
Within our scene, Othello is talking with Desdemona about her false doings with Cassio. I will be playing Desdemona, and Adam will play Othello in our scene.
That handkerchief, which I loved so much, and giveth to thee, thou hast giveth to Cassio.
No, by my life. Send for the man, ask him.
Sweet soul, take heed of perjury. Thou art on thy deathbed.
Aye, but not yet to die.
Yes, presently. Therefore, confess thee freely of thy sins. For to deny each article with oath cannot remove nor choke the strong conception that I do groan withal. Thou art to die.
Then, Lord, have mercy on me.
I say, Amen.
And have you mercy too. I never did offend you in my life. Never did I love Cassio, but with such general warranty of heaven, as I might love, I never gave him token.
By heaven, I saw my handkerchief in his hand. O perjured woman, thou hast stolen my heart, and makest me call what I intend to do a murder, which I thought a sacrifice. I saw the handkerchief.
He found it. That I never gave it to him. Send for hither. Let him tell the truth.
He hath confessed
What, my lord?
that he hath used thee.
How? Unlawfully?
Aye.
He will not say so.
No, his mouth is stopping. Honest Iago hath taken order for it.
Oh, my fear interprets. What, is he dead?
Had all his hairs been lives, my great revenge had stomach for them all.
Alas, he's betrayed, and I undone.
Out, strumpet! Weepest thou for him to my face?
Oh, banish me, my lord, but kill me not.
Down, strumpet, down!
Kill me tomorrow, let me live tonight.
Nay, if you strive,
But half an hour.
it is being done. There is no pause.
Oh, I say one more prayer.
it is too late.
Amelia comes to inform Othello that Rodrigo is dead and Cassio is not. Othello then explains to Amelia that he killed Desdemona because Iago said she was unfaithful.
Amelia discovers what Iago has done, but Iago enters the room just after to keep her quiet. Othello reveals the handkerchief as proof that what Iago told him was the truth, and that it showed evidence of Desdemona's unloyalty.
Amelia corrects Othello and spills the truth about how she gave the handkerchief to Iago. Othello becomes furious and attempts to kill Iago, but doesn't have a weapon. Iago then runs away after murdering Amelia.
Iago is eventually caught and brought back by Montano and Lodovico. Cassio accompanies them, but can't move much due to his injury. Then, Othello commits suicide after being asked to return home to be tried for murder.
The story ends with a speech by Lodovico, and Lodovico demands that Iago must be executed.
There are two major themes found within Othello. One of the major themes that is found in the play is appearance versus reality. There are many instances of this theme. For example, Iago tricks many people throughout the play into believing things that are actually false. He makes Othello believe that his wife, Desdemona, is cheating on him based on rumors. However, we now know that that was false.
Another theme that occurs multiple times in the play is jealousy. Rodrigo is jealous of Othello marrying Desdemona at the start, and Iago is jealous of Othello receiving a promotion. Later in the play, Othello himself displays jealousy as he believes that Desdemona is cheating on him with Cassio.
Oh, hello there. So nice of you to join us for this little fireside chat about Shakespeare. Over the years, there have been numerous differing opinions on the play Othello. While some may condemn it, many others think that it is simply one of Shakespeare's greatest works.
Those who like the play are captivated with the deep personas that each of the characters develop. They especially like the role that Iago undertakes as the villain within the play. Harold Bloom, a professor at Yale University, goes as far as stating that most people are more like Iago than Othello in their actions. He shows that we are all prone and capable of having corrupt and jealous thoughts. Furthermore, many of us turn our jealousy into actions as we attempt to fix the problem.
Those opposed to the play, however, condemn it for the negative treatment towards women, which is most often evident in Desdemona's part. She is often treated more as an object or prize than as an actual person by many of the characters.
We both believe that this is one of the better Shakespearean plays that we have read. It has a story that is unlike any other play that we have read in class.
I personally really enjoyed following the storyline as Iago attempted to sabotage Othello's life in a variety of different ways. It was really easy to relate to, as we all experience jealousy within our lives at some point.
I liked how different the plot of this play was compared to other Shakespearean plays. Iago's scheme was unlike any other villain's plot, though its complexity, elaborateness, and effectiveness made it very fun and enjoyable.
Yeah, well said, Wyatt. I also was enamored with how Iago was able to utilize an object as minuscule as a handkerchief to cause Othello to spiral out of control and simply lose it. It made the play an absolute blast to read.
I win. You best be getting out of here.
I will this time, but this ain't the last you hear of me, son.